In law, it is said that something cannot be built on nothing. This is to discourage acting against legal guidelines. The Port Harcourt Division of the Rivers State High Court has ruled that Celestine Omehia is not a former governor of the state and as such not entitled to pensions meant for the former governors and their deputies. Ruling on the matter brought before the court by Omehia, Justice Derecognition ruled that the counterclaim by the state government demanding that Omehia repay 695 million naira is lacking in merit, as it did not compel anyone to pay him the money. Let's share this story by TVC News Okoro with you.
Celestine Omehia occupied the office of the governor from the 29th of May 2007 until his removal by a Supreme Court judgment in October of the same year. 8 years later, the Rivers State House of Assembly recognized him as former governor. But on the 6th of October 2022, the Assembly in a resolution withdrew the recognition. The presiding judge, Justice Derecognition, held that Mr. Omehia is not qualified under the Rivers State Governor and Deputy Governor Pensions and Fringe Benefits Law No. 6 of 2012. He said the House of Assembly did not have power to recognize Mr. Omehia as former governor in 2015, contrary to the judgment of the Supreme Court which nullified his election. On the case before him, the judge also noted that the High Court cannot deliver any judgment contrary to the Supreme Court. Justice Kyo subsequently dismissed the relief sought in the claimant's originating summons for lack of merit.
The court held that in the eyes of the law, affirming the decision in the celebrated case of Rotimi Amechi versus Heineck, the court also affirmed the fact that in the eyes of the law, that Sir Celestine Omehia was never a former governor and should not be accorded that status, the status of a former governor, because he was not. And therefore, he's not entitled to benefit from the Rivers State former governors and deputy governors law, pensions law, and the fringe benefit. And that is not entitled, and therefore, it should not be recognized.
In its 2022 resolution, the Assembly also ordered Mr. Omehia to refund the sum of about 697 million naira paid to him as pensions and benefits. But the court agreed with Mr. Omehia that such order was unrealistic and impossible to implement as the money has been spent. The defendants, however, have an option of going to court with a fresh suit to pursue the refund. I
will not want to comment on that, considering my position as a civil servant. I'm a government lawyer, so I wouldn't want to comment on that. The matter is quite a sensitive one, and it will be left for the government to decide.
The court rejected the plea to dismiss the suit and award damages, but instead directed both parties to bear their respective costs.
I won't make any comments.
Okoro, TVC News, Port Harcourt.
Please pardon me for that.
Well, then, we are going to make comments in the studio. Biko, let me start with you. It was said that the reason why Celestine Omehia was made a former governor, was recognized as former governor, was because it was part of the Atiku presidential campaign Atiku was supporting Atiku. And then in 2023, when Wike lost out in able to clinch a ticket for presidential election, Omehia still continued to support Atiku. But then, that claim Wike denied. What's your take on this?
This whole controversy was instigated by Nyesom Wike. There was no reason in the world for Wike to get the House to recognize Celestine Omehia as a governor. As a governor,
yeah.
As far as the law is concerned, the law does not see him as a former governor. The law wiped his slate clean. Even if he was governor for 100 years, the moment the Supreme Court declares somebody as governor in his place, it's not known to law as somebody who was governor, and is not entitled to benefits. It's just similar to what happened in Anambra. Chris Ngige was governor, but he was defeated in the tribunal. His opponent proved that he didn't win the election. So in the eyes of the law, he was never governor. That's the way it is. That's the way the law looks at it. But because he was on Wike's side at one point, and because our governors literally have the assembly in their pockets, governors these days determine who becomes speaker. Absolute nonsense. A governor has no reason to determine who becomes speaker.
And even chairman of...
And you want us to believe that they are independent. Yet it is a governor who chooses speakers for you. I don't. So you sit there and allow a governor to choose your speaker for you. A governor even went as far as sitting down in Benue State when they were choosing a speaker. He didn't get out of the place. They should have walked him out. But they didn't have the liver to say, Mr. Governor, we will not continue this process until you leave us alone.
Because it's our own personal affair.
Yes, he sat there.
Because he was not sure of himself.
He sat there just to make sure that his own person, the person that he wanted, became the speaker. Where is the honor of the assembly? Where is the independence of the assembly? And when Celestine Omehia moved away from supporting Wike quickly moved against him, got the House to reverse a decision that it caused them to take. For God's sake, Wike is a lawyer. His wife is a high court judge.
But
You know that the decision of the Supreme Court is a decision that no mortal can override, can countermand. Yet you made sure that they made him, now he fought you, or he refused to support you. Then you turned against. I was in Rivers State at the time when this decision was taken. You know, politicians believe in the zero-sum game. If you don't back them, they will throw the kitchen sink at you. That's what he did. And now, the shoe is on the different foot now. The man supported a different person. Wike felt bad. After all the favor that I did for him, look at all the money that one person got. Can we make progress in this country?
690.
One person, 697 million.
But these were supposed to be benefits that accrued to him.
As what?
While he was...
As what? He was never governor.
He was never governor.
MJ,
He was never governor.
MJ, let me come to you. You know, based on what BK said, the judge actually wrote that the demand by the state government for Omehia to refund 695 million lacked merit because it did not compel anyone to pay him. This means the 695 million, in the words of the governor of the president, is gone.
See, before Mojit talks, let me add something. Because it's always better to enlighten our people. Young ones are watching us. A lot of Nigerians don't have a sense of history. Do you know that what Wike did to Omehia? Do you know that Fauci tried to do it for Segun Oni? Abi?
Yeah.
Did Segun Oni agree?
No.
He did not agree.
He didn't agree, yeah.
Come on, that's a decent man. And that's why they still respect.
So it takes being decent to be invited to, I mean, it takes being human to come and chop. And then you now feel, no, this is not the right thing for me to eat, and that makes you decent.
You see, the Rivers State government under Wike, or rather Wike and the Rivers State House of Assembly, made a joke of governance and of the Supreme Court judgment. And the law. The Supreme Court said, ruled that which Justice Daketima Kio reiterated while giving that ruling, that the Supreme Court ruled that Omehia was a mere imposter and was never a governor. That's how the Supreme Court described him. That's, I mean, they stopped short of calling him a meddlesome interloper, quote and unquote. So, for Wike to now award, to cost the House of Assembly to award him 696 million, and when you woke up from there, I mean, 696 million, I mean, and you now woke up and discovered that, oh, it's no more on your side, you said it should refund. So the judge said...
But he didn't just say it should refund, he said they should remove the benefit.
The benefit.
They recognize him as a former governor.
Yes, no, they paid him.
No longer be a former governor. And then he should
refund. And the judge now said, he never asked for it in the first instance, so why are you telling him to refund? So
the judge just wanted to help him. In the National Assembly, when you lose an election, when you lose an election, they tell you to refund. Though.
And that's probably because, National Assembly, I think, no, you go away with the money you have made.
They tell you, courts, I've seen courts that ruled. Ifedayo, when he defected to, when you defect, you lose your seat.
Oh, yeah, you lose your seat, yes.
The court ruled that he should refund
all the earnings. So
I also say, well, they looked at him, okay, will this man be able to pay this? And he has spent the money.
Of course. So I think this is a lesson to our demigods, because the governors see themselves as demigods. They want to control virtually everything. Right. They put the House of Assembly in their pockets and dictate to them what to do. And except in a few states where we have semblance of real checks and balance between the House of Assemblies. I mean, we can say we can see that happening in Lagos. We can see how Lagos, how the state of Assembly stopped some people from being commissioners in Lagos.
Yes.
And the way the Lagos State House of Assembly scrutinizes the budget of Lagos State, and at times they even increase the budget for the governor. They say, no, you need to spend more.
Some ministries, they will say no.
Yes. So they also move money from here to that place. So,
sorry to pause very quickly because of our time. So what other options do you think are there for Celestine Omehia, especially talking about politics of things? Do you feel
he should go and join the Fubara camp?
He should be praying that another court doesn't order him to pay. Because it's not impossible. Well, the man who is fighting him is formidable. And he's a very, very
resilient fighter.
Tough cookie.
Yeah, because he's the one that went to court in this case. So
if they go, and they are not happy that they didn't tell him to refund, they may appeal. If they appeal and they say, oh, Omehia should refund, he will hate the fact that he agreed to have anything to do with
it. The luck we have now is that, I mean, Fubara will see this as a victory for him because, I mean, it's wicked that wanted him to refund. So the court has said he should not refund. So he might just allow it to lie low. So it's kudos to him.
Anyway, we'll see how things, continue to pan out, especially with these issues or issue within the River State's politics.